Strange things happen on Halloween when black cats prowl and pumpkins gleam. And the pumpkin was gleaming when the woman picked it up from outside her house. She brought it into the inside of her house and she placed it by the fireplace. She could see the flames coming from the eyes, the nose, the mouth. Squeaky. From the mouth. And then she sat down in her big chair. And the black cat was beside her. His name was Old Tom. And they both sat there staring into the pumpkin, waiting for the husband to return. The husband was at the graveyard, working. When the clock struck midnight, they jumped with such a fright, for they could hear pounding coming up the steps. Bam, 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 the door burst open, and the man came into the room with such a whirl of wind around him. The wind froze them all in one spot, circled around them 3 times, and it quietly made its way back out the door and closed it with a creak. The woman looked at him and said, "What happened to you tonight? You come in here as if you've seen a ghost itself. Why are you screaming about a Tom Tildrum?" That's what he came into the room, screaming on the top of his head. "Who's Tom Tildrum? Who's Tom Tildrum?" She didn't know why. Well, the man went over to the fireplace. He warmed up his hands because he was very cold. He warmed up his body, and then he began to tell the story. She said to him, "Tell me everything you saw tonight. Tell me everything that happened." "Oh, the strangest things happened tonight. When I was digging old man Mr. Fortis's grave, hard work it was with my shovel digging deep. I stayed quite low because the wind was howling above the ground. But I fell asleep. I don't know for how long. But I was awakened by the call of a cat, an eerie sound. Meow. Yes, old Tom, it was exactly like that," he said to the black cat. The cat sat up on its haunches. The woman moved in closer. "What else did you see tonight? Tell me more." "Well, I lifted myself up from the grave and I just looked at the ground level, and off in the distance I could see 9 black cats standing perfectly tall. And they looked a lot like our old Tom the cat. And they all had a white patch on their body, just like our old Tom. Why, look how he's looking at me." "Never mind, old Tom. Tell me more. What else did you see? What were those cats doing?" "Well, there were 8 of them. Well, 9 in all, but 8 of them were carrying a coffin on their shoulder. And on that coffin there was a black cloth. And all around the edges of the black cloth I could see gold crowns stitched all around. And they were walking with that coffin, and the leader was standing in front of them. And for every 3rd step he took, he cried out, 'Meow.' And the rest of them, they cried out together in unison. Can you do meow for me?" Meow. Yes, old Tom, they were wailing just like that, exactly. Old Tom was looking closer and closer at the old man, moving his ears up and down. The old woman moved in closer too, and she said, "What happened next? Tell me more." "Well, I saw them coming closer and closer to me, and I knew that they were coming towards me because they had green eyes, just like that young man's green shoe. And he was a piercing green, staring right at me. I was so nervous. And for every third step that those proper mourners took, they cried out, can you do the meow? To their leaders, one meow. Meow! Bawled Old Tom. Yes, Old Tom, exactly like that is how they cried. You're right. Wife, look at his eyes. His eyes are getting greener and greener by the minute. Never mind, Old Tom, she said. Look, his eyes are getting green, perhaps just from the flame coming from the jack-o'-lantern. Now go on. What happened next? Well, they marched and they marched and they marched and they came and stopped right at the foot of old man Mr. Fortis's grave. I was shaking like a leaf. I was so nervous. They were staring at me. 9 pairs of green, ghoulish-looking eyes. And then the leader stood forward, looked straight down at me and said, in a voice I'd never heard a cat use before, "Tell old Tom Tildrum that Tim Toldrum is dead." The man got so frightened, I jumped up out of the grave. I ran straight home, and that's why I came in here screaming, "Who's Tom Tildrum? Who's Tom Tildrum? How can I tell Tom Tildrum that Tim Tildrum is dead if I don't know who on earth that is?" Just then, a light flashed out from the jack-o'-lantern sitting near the fireplace, and it made all kinds of ghoulish images all around the room, and the woman shrieked in the loudest voice possible, "Ah! Butcher's hook! Have a look! Quick!" And the two of them stared at old Tom. He was no longer small. He was now standing 2 sizes taller than he had ever been before. And then his eyes had that greenish, ghoulish look, like all the other cats that the man had described. And then their cat, old Tom, bellowed in a voice they'd never heard their cat use before. "What? Old Tim dead? Ha! Well, then I'm king of the cats." He began to swish his tail back and forth madly, causing the light in the jack-o'-lantern to flit and flutter, and then it went completely dark, blew out. The man and the woman sat in their chairs. They were shaking like leaves. But then they heard old Tom triumphantly meowing. Can you meow in a very happy way? Yeah! And then old Tom shot up the chimney and was never again to be seen. Did you like that one?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay.